YouTube channel. So today I want to discuss with you how to open a to-go daiquiri shop here in Texas. Okay, so I receive a lot of questions and a lot of messages about how to open up a daiquiri shop. You know, that's like the next thing I get from people. You know, how did you do it? You know, what's the steps? And so it's not really a one-worded answer, you know what I'm saying? So it's a long process, and I think people realize how long of a process it really is. You know, they just see me pouring drinks, you know. How hard could that be to start that up? But actually it takes a lot of work, and it definitely takes a lot of consistency, and you have to keep yourself uplifted because in the process it gets long, you know. So I'm gonna give you a few tips on what helped me and some of the steps that I went through. The first thing that you need to be trying to do is find a good location. You have to find a good location. Location is everything. Like, I'm talking about from where you're trying to have it at for is the city and the people who you're trying to target. You know, that will all matter. You don't want to set a daiquiri shop up that's in an area with 10 other daiquiri shops. You know, you want to find a place that may not have a daiquiri shop. This side of the town, they need a daiquiri shop, but I wouldn't necessarily try to put a daiquiri shop right beside another daiquiri shop. You know, I just wouldn't do that. I'm all about finding supply and demand. That's all business is. And why am I gonna jump in
the Shark's Tank? You know what I'm saying? Whenever there's a big open ocean over here where no one's at or even worried about, that I could just dominate.
That's how I think about business. And so don't complicate things when doing that. That's the first step. Keep it simple, keep it easy. Find a location that may not have a daiquiri shop, or like I said, on that side of town they don't have one. Think of it on that level, because that will kind of put you ahead a little faster than you trying to jump right into the tank, you know, of 10 other daiquiri shops, and now you want to be the 11th one. It's like, they've already been going to those daiquiri shops for so long. What makes you think they're going to stop at yours all of a sudden? You can do it, but you're going to really have to market, and you probably will take a lot of cuts trying to get people in. I mean, you're going to do that anyway, but you're really going to take a lot of cuts. So just be mindful of your location. Your location is also going to matter because of, depending on what county you want your daiquiri shop to be in, there's going to be a lot of different rules and regulations on what you can and cannot do as a daiquiri shop. So that's why one of the reasons that the location that you choose is very important as well. So that's going to determine what all you want to get into with that daiquiri shop. Okay, so after you find a good location, the building where it's placed, you know, you've looked and thought about everything around it, you feel like this is a good spot for you to have a daiquiri shop. The next thing is finding a good name. You know, you want to find a good catchy name that people will remember, something that's kind of short, something that's to the point. You know, you don't want, hey, look at me, we got the best drinks, daiquiris to go over here. Like, what? That's too long, you know? And I've seen some names like that, and I'm like, you could have just put best daiquiris to go, and that would have worked. To, you know, all that extra stuff, it's just like, I'm not gonna remember that. And so you don't want people to say, oh yeah, that little shop, you know, that little shop over there, or that shop up the street. You want them to be able to say your name, because that helps with marketing and advertising for you. That's free promo when people can just say your business name without having to, you know, oh, I don't know, I just know they sell drinks. You know, that's not really beneficial to you and your business. And believe it or not, word of mouth is everything. And so if the word around town is going around saying the little shop up the street instead of saying your business name, that could actually hurt you, because it's a lot of little shops up the street. You know what I'm saying? You want them to be specific with it. Oh no, we went here. you know? And so that's very important because the people are going to promote for you, especially if it's good. So take some time out to think of a good name for your business. Then you want to go ahead and register that business name, the DBA, and you want to go ahead and get a business entity. You know, my business is under LLC, you know, so that's going to be on you deciding on what you want to put your business under, you know. So I can't tell you that, but that's what I pick for me. Once you do that, you're going to have to start filling out the application that's required. Now, before I get too far in that, I just want you all to understand you do have to be 21 and older. And if you have a lot of things on your background and record, you probably won't get approved. You know, they don't hand out alcohol license like hotcakes. You have to be a pretty reputable person with pretty much little to nothing on your record and background to, you know, to get approved. And so that's something to think about if you're really trying to be serious and open up a daiquiri shop or do anything with liquor. In that aspect, you have to stay out of trouble. In other words, you know, pretty much they want a law-abiding citizen. And so I just want to put that out there that they are very strict and everyone does not get approved for it. So you have to fill out the application, you know, of course, submit it. It takes about 60 days. They kind of drag their feet a little bit sometimes, you know, and that alone is a long process. Oh my gosh, that's such a long process because they don't answer
phones, they don't email you back, you gotta set an appointment sometimes to go up there, everybody's off, they at lunch. Oh my gosh, it's the most stressful process ever. You gotta start over because you didn't write that right, you didn't do that right, you didn't submit it that on time, or you didn't submit that the way they want it submitted, you know, so you gotta start over. So it can get very tedious.
In the application process. So that's something you want to make sure you're taking your time with so you can submit it once, you know, because anytime you mess up or they got to call you or email you, it's very time sensitive. And so if you don't get it back to them in the corrected way, you know, they can withdraw your application and you have to start all the way over. And that almost happened to me. And I'm like, wait, you know, so you want to make sure that you are taking your time when filling out those applications. Like, take your time, you know, try to ask questions if you can, but don't rush through it because they will see the error and they will contact you about it. And that just kind of prolongs the process. And so you kind of want that part to go by pretty fast because it's a lot of other steps you got to get to. You don't want to just get stuck on that one part. But that is a very big piece of having a daiquiri shop is getting past that alcohol license. If you can get past that, you're good to go. The next important part of opening a daiquiri shop is finding good, consistent, and quality product. So one thing that I did that helped me out before I even started any steps into opening a daiquiri shop, I used to visit different daiquiri shops every single weekend. That was my thing to do. Go to a different daiquiri shop, and from there I could taste, oh yeah, this is a good daiquiri, or no, you know, I really didn't like how that tastes, or oh, this is too strong, or oh, it's a little too sweet, you know. And so you run into those things once you start studying it. You realize like, that alcohol is a little overbearing, so it takes away from the drink, or ooh, it's a little too syrupy, you know, so it also takes away from the drink. So you want a good medium. You want it to taste good and you want a good quality alcohol, but that's not going to necessarily take over the drink. Sometimes people think that putting more alcohol in a drink is better, but that actually takes away from the drink because now it just tastes like straight alcohol. And now I have a headache within the first 5 sips. That's not good. So now I can't even finish my drink. Now I'm mad because I done paid my money and yeah, I'm buzzed, but I have a headache, you know, or you put too much syrup in there.
Now, you know, the drink was good, but the next morning I got the bubble guts. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, that's just me.
But when I was going to those daiquiri shops, that's what I was running into. Either my stomach hurt real bad or I got a real bad headache. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, okay, I don't want things. And so that's something that you're going to have to work on. It's kind of like an experiment. You're gonna have to play around with it to see how do you want your product to be. And so for me, I know a good daiquiri when I taste one, and I know a bad daiquiri when I taste one. And that's just, like I said, that's before I even started selling them myself. I know. And so they have a lot of different options out here on the market with different vendors. And so that's something you're going to have to go and play around with. I can't tell you what I may like, you may not like, and what you may like, I may not. But we have to remember, we have to take ourselves out of it, and we have to go for what the customer is going to like. And so when you're going to those taste test meetings or you're talking to these vendors, you want to make sure that you are thinking of the customer, because I don't like pina colada, and that's like one of my #1 selling flavors is pina colada.
If you like pina colada,
taste testing pina colada, even though I didn't like it, I was tasting it as a customer, not as me. And so that's one thing you're going to have to do, because at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about you, it's about the customer. And so you have to drink it as a customer. So you have to say, we're a customer buying it from somewhere, what would you say about the daiquiri while drinking it, after drinking it? What would you say? What's your experiences? And if you have a lot of cons instead of pros, then you probably want to taste test somewhere else. That's going to be very important, you guys, because you don't want to skip that process, you know. And even though there's some consumers that's going to come in, they don't know a thing about the business. They just want a daiquiri, you know what I'm saying? So that's up to you to give them good quality product, you know. And then there's a lot of people who've been to great daiquiri shops, and when they come to your shop, they're going to know firsthand, that's not right. And so one thing that I'm very, very big on is you have to have those things. Consistency and quality is going to carry you a very long way in your business, a very long way. And so just be mindful of the product that you are picking for your drinks, for as alcohol, for as the mixes. Make sure that it is going to be great, you know, because there's 1,000 daiquiri shops out there, and we want them to always come back to you. And that's one thing that I hear people will tell me, oh yeah, I was at another daiquiri shop, you know, and I realized, you know, this isn't like yours. And I'm like, wow, that's very impressive. Or for people to come in that's been coming from the beginning to tell me, one thing I can say about your drinks, they are consistent. They are consistent. That is the best compliment you can ever receive as a daiquiri shop owner. That's what you want to hear, you know? And so because of that, I'm very confident in my business and in my products, because I have the best. And so that's something that you have to be for sure about, because in this business, you have to be very confident, very, very confident. And because they're gonna ask you questions, you know, because when I went in to buy a daiquiri, I just bought a daiquiri. The customers that I have, they want to know everything. You know, how much alcohol is in it, what kind of alcohol is in it, you know, the whole 9 yards. And so you want to make sure you're knowledgeable about your product so you can give them a confident answer, you know, because for some customers that's important. And it is important because they're spending their money with you. And so you need to be able to provide them those answers, all right? So along with having a great product, you want to make sure that you have great machines. You know, a lot of times some people start off with the lower quality machines, and it just doesn't produce the same quality daiquiri. And that can also make or break you as well. You know, you might have a great product, but if your machine is trash, it's not going to make good quality drinks. It's not, because you don't want the ice to come out chunky like a slush. You want it to be smooth, you know. And so in order to do that, you need a good quality machine with good grade A blades to make sure you're whipping the product. And so those machines can be a lot more pricey, but they are worth it. They really are. And I would tell anyone, you know, I know you might be ready to do it and you might want it right now, but I just wouldn't open up a daiquiri shop with trash machines, because you're going to have to go back around and eventually get the good ones anyway. So now you're wasting money because you're going to realize those machines ain't what's up. Even you're going to be like, no, this is not it. It's not good quality. So it's going to bring your product down. So if you have a good product, but your machines aren't good, it's not going to uplift that part of the quality, you know? So it's going to be like
an adult slushy with little chunks of ice. Nobody don't want that. So
machines are very, very important. Very important. Don't just run out here and get a cheap machine or a little blender and think this is it. No, you need to keep researching. You're going to have to keep finding out some things first. Keep looking until you run into some good machines. All right. What a lot of people don't realize is that with opening a daiquiri shop, there is a good amount of overhead, you know, that you are going to end up spending, you know. So you can and you will make a lot of money. And I'm going to get to that part in a second because I know that's what everybody wants to know. But you have to be ready for that because you can't run out of cups. You can't run out of straws. You need product at all times, you know. And so even though it sounds like a small amount, those price tags on those items add up, you know. And especially if you're pushing a certain amount of product a day, a week, yeah, you're gonna be spending a lot of money on product and cups and straws and napkins. And then if you have employees, you know, and then your commercial bills that comes along with it. So your overhead, it can be kind of pricey with your overhead. But it's definitely more than just pouring a drink. You know, to me, this is my passion. I love everything about the daiquiri business. I love it. I could talk about it all day, every day. But I just want people to realize it is also hard work, you know, and even though the machines are doing most of the work for you, you know, you have to put in a lot more work besides that. And you have to keep up with a lot of things. And you have to make sure that people aren't giving away free drinks. And you got to make sure you're receiving every penny, you know, from your products. And so with the overhead, you know, like I said, you will make your money to pay for it. Now, with daiquiri shops, you all, honestly, you can make some money. You can 50 to 100K a month. Easy. Easy.
Huh? That ain't no problem. Well,
You're gonna touch some money. It is a very, very fruitful business, but you have to be, it's a good business because, like, for instance, like now with everything going on, I still have a to-go daiquiri shop. It was a to-go daiquiri shop before all of this happened, thank God. So, you know, once again, thank God I haven't had to close down. We just take our precautions and the drinks are just to go. So in times like this, the business has picked up even more now because people are at home. And for us, we're still fairly new. So people are at home, people are still finding out about us. So we got new customers coming in every day. We got our repeat customers coming, you know, so it's really growing. And so that's just something to look forward to. You know, I believe daiquiris are rather have it already mixed, you know, which is a daiquiri. And so I feel like that it's going to spike even more over the years. You know, I know here in Houston, we have daiquiri shops everywhere. I mean, like, oh my gosh. I mean, there's like a whole community of daiquiri shops. And I'm like, y'all, don't nobody need to put another daiquiri shop in that area. Like, they are maxed out. So that's like the upcoming thing. People want them catered at their parties and events and trail rides and just all kinds of things you can do with it. And so I honestly cannot wait to see the full potential of my business once things gets back to normal. I have a lot of things already lined up for it. And so it's going to take off even more. And so I am super duper grateful for everything. The most important key points to opening a daiquiri shop. And just know that it's not going to happen overnight, that you will have to have patience and a lot of determination. And don't give up. You know, if you hear the first no, or you hear first number you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't afford, don't give up. Look for other options. Talk to other people. You know what I'm saying? And it's possible. It took me a year and a half to even open up my shop, and we're going on almost 7 months strong. And so I am very grateful and very appreciative of all the love and support. And you know, I can't wait to expand. So much in a nutshell, how to open up a daiquiri shop. That's pretty much it. And I know as easy as it sounds, it's a lot of hard work. It is. But next week, I'm going to be dropping a link for a manual that I am creating, because I know there are a lot of details that goes into a daiquiri shop. Actually, it's too many details that I can't even really fit it all in a video because it would be so long. You know, the steps are different for each county, each city, you know, so things are different. There's a wide variety of list of vendors and machine options and so many different things. And so like me, you know, I wish I had something to help me along. I wish I had a video to give me a general list of things, and I didn't. And I had to bump my head a lot, and I had to figure it out on my own.
And I had to make a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails and a lot of pointless trips and visits to places and a lot of runarounds and a lot of yes and no's and yeses and maybe so's until I got to where I am.
You know what I'm saying? But if I would have gave up, I would never be here. And so I kind of just want to give you all a manual so you can have access to it to kind of give you a start. Or if you're interested in me being a mentor to you and really helping you from beginning to end, you know, with your daiquiri shop, I'm available and open to do that as well. And so next week I will have the links out with the pricing. And so if you're interested, that will be available for you. So, you know, I can really help you personally, you know, because it's just so broad with everything that you have to do. You know, for me to say this one thing is what you have to do may not be in that case for you. And so I would love to help you personally, you know, or if you just want a list in general to get you started, that's fine too. I wish I had either of those options when I was starting, and I didn't. And so I know a lot of you all message me, you know, inbox me, but there's a lot of times I can't get back to y'all. And like I said, it's not just a one-worded answer. You know, it's a lot of details. It really is. Bought that manual out for anyone who's interested in opening a to-go daiquiri shop, especially here in Texas. I don't know about other states, you know, but we can find out together though. We can definitely find out. But yeah, so I hope this video was helpful to you all, and I hope it gave you a little motivation and a little start of where to think about starting first with it. And yeah, so like, share, subscribe, comment below, let me know if you liked it, and I will be back with you all next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.